Dear postgraduate students, if by the end of this video you're still unable to write a literature review, or at least, have an idea on how to write a literature review, I owe you 2 bob. So let's get into it. When we talk about literature review, there are 3 components that we consider. Number 1, summarizing. Number 2, analyzing. Number 3, synthesizing. Do not be taken aback by these terminologies. I'm going to explain them. Summarizing simply means saying or repeating what other researchers have said, right? Analyzing, it means breaking down the information to find patterns or relationships or weaknesses or strengths. Synthesizing simply means that you are now bringing in a fresh perspective. So now, because we know the 3 components that make up a literature review, let us do a literature review on these findings. Say, for example, you are conducting a research on how social media can be used as an educational tool, right? So, for example, as you're going through your literature or the existing literature, you find out that Smith 2019 conducted their research and found that social media contributes to anxiety and imposter syndrome. And then again, we have Nkosi, and Nkosi found out that social media can help people build connections and communities because they did their research in 2020 during COVID-19. And then in 2025, Zwane says that social media can help in activism work and also amplify the voices of the voiceless. So now you have these 3 people or this 3 pieces of information. How will you then say it, or how will you then narrate it in a literature review? Let's start with summarizing. So summarizing, you're repeating what these people have said. For example, you will say, Smith 2019 found out that social media has negative effects as it contributes to, psychological effects such as anxiety and imposter syndrome. In contrary to Smith, Nkosi conducted their research during the COVID-19 pandemic and found that actually social media can be used as a positive tool to build connections and communities. In addition to that, we have Zwane, and Zwane found out that actually social media can be a way or a platform for activism and also to amplify the voices of the voiceless. So what you just did there is you summarize the information. So now let's get into analyzing the information. So in analyzing the information, you already found out that actually there's negative effects of social media, which is highlighted by Smith, and also there are positive effects of social media, which is highlighted by Nkosi and Zwane. And you can even go into deeper to even criticizing each and every one of this research. But for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna go into Nkosi. I will then say perhaps to Nkosi as I further analyze that and break down the information, that actually there needs to be a research again when it comes to Nkosi to find out that is social media still able to form those connections and communities that it formed in 2020, or in 2020 was simply forced, or rather the reason why we're able to form those connections was because of COVID-19, right? So it's me still analyzing the information. Then that is you finished analyzing the information. Now what is left is synthesizing, bringing in a new perspective. So now remember, your research topic is on how social media can be used as an educational tool. Then you will say research has found out that there are negatives and positives obviously of social media. However, the research that is already there has focused on the social and psychological aspect of social media, not necessarily how then can social media then be used as a tool to supplement traditional education, right? In a way that can we then learn what is in our classrooms here on social media, just as how you're now learning how to write a literature review, which is something that you need to learn where traditionally or conventionally is something that you need to learn where in your lecture halls or in your classroom. So that is you now highlighting that and giving us that actually your research, you are adding to these voices by now telling us on how social media can then become a supplementary educational environment to supplement the work that is done in the traditional education or traditional school system. So yeah, that is it, guys. Thank you very much. I hope this video was helpful, and from me to you, bye.